friends, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Hope you're all doing well, navigating these energies well through this full moon and Mercury retrograde. For me, it's been pretty intense. Wondering how you've been experiencing things. Feel free to leave me a comment. We'll just go ahead and jump into our daily messages and see what we have going on. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so that you get notified when I post new content and I can get the messages out to whoever needs to hear them. First, we're just going to pull some general energies, see what we're dealing with today, and then we'll get some underlying energies, go a little deeper, and then some spirit guidance. So let's see, we're starting off with movement. Metamorphosis and listening. So obviously there's some sort of forward movement. I'm noticing here that this ostrich has sort of a world on its back. So maybe, you've been feeling a little burdened by something or weighed down by something, or maybe you're, slowly moving forward. Ostriches, I feel like, typically move pretty fast, but in this card, it looks like he's kind of taking it step by step. Last week we were seeing a lot of slow and steady energy, so moving forward, nonetheless. This is a 28 card, so if you break that down, it's a 10, which is typically the end of a cycle. So maybe the end of a period of heaviness, where you've been sort of trudging along, and moving forward towards metamorphosis, which is a rebirth, a new beginning, a transformation of some sort in your life, in your world. And then we've got listening. And I'm noticing these musical notes here. So maybe listening to music right now is beneficial for you, or would be. Maybe it's helping you through this metamorphosis or transition. This could also talk about listening to others. A period of maybe listening more than talking, or a need to listen. Have your ears open, your heart open. We'll get some underlying energies and see, what's underlying these things, and then, we'll clarify if we need to get further messages. So what's underlying this movement? Tell me more about this movement. Oh, we get 2 cards. We get Eyes of the Eagle, Rise Above the Fray, and Moon Maiden, New Beginnings, which makes sense because we were just talking about this new beginnings with the metamorphosis. Eyes of the Eagle, rising above the fray. It's interesting because this card also has this hot air balloon up here, and this little world is sort of elevated above the ground above it. So interesting correlation there. Maybe needing to look at things from a higher perspective, using your intuition. Maybe also needing to quiet other people's opinions, which is interesting because we've got this listening card. So maybe it's being careful about what you're listening to. We'll see as we go along. what that may mean. But obviously this rising above the fray, gaining a new perspective, has something to do with this new beginnings. I'm noticing several things. This, moon maiden, well, it definitely looks like a full moon, so maybe this is some sort of transformation that's happening through this full moon. Okay, words. Mercury retrograde. Through this full moon, I'm also noticing this figure. She seems like she's very surrendered, but also in the positioning of her hands, at the same time as surrendering, looks a little bit resistant. Like she is just not sure. So we'll get some more clarifiers to see, but let's see what we can see. Tell me about this metamorphosis. What's underneath of this metamorphosis? We get skywriting the fates. Yeah, so this is definitely something fated or destined on your path. When we're talking about with the North Node being sextile to the full moon, that it was about, anything that's happening right now is fated, is destined. So that's showing up here in this reading as well, just after this full moon. So some sort of fated or destined transformation or change could be in any area of your life. I'm not seeing an indication here of what that's pertaining to specifically. It's probably going to depend on, differ for everyone. But let's see tell me more about this listening. What can we see for listening? Oh, that didn't want to come out, obviously. There we go. Drifter, experiencing life as it comes. So maybe this listening is about listening to your intuition, listening to your heart's song, allowing yourself to be carried, getting in that flow state we were talking about last week, where you're co-creating with spirit, listening to your intuition and getting in the flow of allowing and experiencing life as it comes, and being okay with, just being in that flow and not pushing. Maybe it's a bit more of this feminine energy, which makes sense with the full moon, because the full moon is all about, feminine energy, that energy that just allows and goes with the flow and surrenders. Let's get some clarifiers. Tell me about this movement, as well as the eyes of the eagle and moon maiden. Tell me about these three. Just clarify. Thank you. We get Queen of Pentacles in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, Justice in reverse. Bottom of the deck is the Devil in reverse. Knight of Wands reverse. Four of Swords. So I get the sense that what we're moving away from is feeling like we're ungrounded, solid in our own, in ourselves, in our own, in our, what's the word? It's like a feeling stable and solid on our own, feeling like the queen of our domain, if you will. And maybe we've been feeling a bit like, we're out of balance with that, because I'm seeing this justice in reverse, which is all about balance. And we also have the King of Wands in reverse. So, and the Devil in reverse. So getting away from not taking action on things that bring us stability, that we know is going to nurture us and be for our highest good. Letting go of toxic patterns, patterns of self-sabotage, maybe, ways of thinking about things that keep us from our abundance and stability within ourselves, feeling like we can, take action towards our passions, things that light us up, and being authentic and, set on fire and marching to the beat of our own drum. That always comes to me when I see this card. And needing to take some time out to heal these patterns, so that we can move forward towards a new beginning. Tell me, we've got new beginnings and metamorphosis. Let's see, what is this fated change that's taking place? Tell me more about this fated transformation for the collective. I've definitely been feeling this energy myself, just things sort of in flux. Tell me about this. Page of Swords. Seeing things from a new perspective, learning new things, the Lovers, making decisions or seeing things differently in relationships. Part of what this retrograde is about is reviewing relationships. So that could be, relationships that are not leading to success and solid foundations, and not, I got 10 of Cups in reverse on the bottom. So this is more talking about what this, retrograde is about, having a beginner's mind and seeing relationships that are not, bringing us to our 10 of Cups and to our solid foundations, and reviewing those and making decisions. This is a fated thing. It's time we get the Tower in reverse, to stop holding back this change. You have the opportunity to make these necessary changes before this, Tower comes in and does it for you. So let's see. Tell me more about this listening and experiencing life as it comes. What are we listening for or to? What is this about? This listening. That's too many. Okay, we get the moon in reverse. Ace of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Bottom is the death and rebirth in reverse. Yeah, the moon in reverse, I mean, means that there's clarity coming to, you know, tangible opportunities to plant new seeds and deciding, you know, who you're going to work with, where you're going to plant this, you know, new seed going forward. And it seems like, you know, it may not be, it may be more of a solo or individual decision, not collaborating with other people, listening to your own intuition. Yeah, so not listening to other people's opinions. Trusting in what you know is best for you and moving accordingly. With the death and rebirth, it's in reverse. It's definitely a very internal transformation that's going on. It's not like what I'm saying, it's not like things are changing outside of you and you're having to adapt. This is about you changing on the inside. Letting go of disappointment and apathy. Because we saw this card earlier, the Knight of Wands in the reverse, and now it's in the upright, so that you can move forward in your authenticity and follow your own bliss. Not needing anybody else's approval to do that. Letting yourself be led by the divine, by your heart song. And trusting that this is for your highest good. This is a destined, fated thing that's happening, and it's not happening to just you. It's the collective, you know, all going through this review at the same time. Let me get some guidance to see, you know, how we can work with this energy through this transformation. Guidance, please, for this change, this new beginning, this movement forward. Guidance, please. We get Spirit of Gratitude. Tall Tale, which we saw that card on Friday for the weekend reading, and Bearing Fruit. All right, yeah, so, you know, having an attitude of gratitude is a beautiful way to work through difficult periods, but also it's a really great practice to have in general every day. You know, recognizing the things that we do have to be grateful for. And the more we express our gratitude for the things that we are grateful for, the more things we will see to be grateful for. You know, what you think about, you bring about. What you focus on is what you see more of. You are the designer and author of your story and your life. And you know, you have the opportunity every day to choose what you focus on, where you put your attention. And it really is making a huge impact on what you see manifesting in your reality. Under this metamorphosis, guy writing the Fates, A Tall Tale, we looked at this card last week, and, it's talking about the stories that you tell yourself. I mentioned, needing to challenge your own thoughts and beliefs because, you can't believe everything that you think. The mind is a great tool, but it's not a great servant. It is biased for survival, and a lot of times we have programs that, have been written by our experiences, things that we've seen, fear. And if we're filtering everything through that, we're going to come up with a distorted view of things. But this is also talking about being authentic in the way that you show yourself and present yourself to other people in the world. So needing to be authentic and speak your truth and choose things, make decisions from a place of inner, contact with your inner being, not your fearful mind. And the beautiful thing about, acting from that place and being authentic and showing yourself is you create space for other people to feel safe to do the same. And I think at the end of the day, all we all really want is to be seen, to be understood, to be honored for who we are, and to feel unconditional love from other people. Compassion, for the things that we've been through, the things that we're still working through. To just be able to be real. To not be a puppet, to not wear a mask. To not have to appear perfect. And, we have the opportunity here to curate who we keep around us. What you get to choose the people that you have in your life. I mean, you can make the decision about, who you're going to let into your inner circle so that you can live a life, where you feel free to be yourself. It's easy to say, oh, just don't worry about what other people think. This is true, but also if you have people around you that are negative, that are constantly, challenging who you are and not loving you for who you are, then those people don't deserve access to you. And then the last card we get is bearing fruit. So it seems that, all of this is leading to something quite abundant and beautiful. And actually, I'm going to look at this in the book. Number 12 says, birthing the results of hard work, an idea or consistent thought manifesting into form, the relationship between the external world and the internal world of feelings and beliefs, which really is what I was just talking about, manifesting through consistent thought. Like what you'd focus on is what is going to appear in your reality. It says, if your life were a tree, what fruit would it bear? Envision the results of the efforts you put into achieving your dreams and desires in partnership with the divine. Can you see the way you think, feel, and believe reflected in the material world? There is always a correlation between what you see, what you expect to see, and what you intend consciously, and what you project unconsciously. Everything is intrinsically connected. Magic flows through you from the unseen world into the world you perceive. Moving from the realm of non-ordinary reality to ordinary reality, you birth ideas and thoughts into form and bring your most cherished desires to fruition. Not all ideas will bear sweet fruit. Sometimes you will reap a sour and bitter harvest based on your sense of your personal narrative and your assumptions about others. You are in a powerful and fertile season of your life when you're particularly good at making things happen with very little effort. Pay close attention to what you're manifesting now. From your career to your personal relationships, your influence is strong at this time. If you don't like what your life is yielding, prune the proverbial tree and get into alignment with what genuinely lights you up. Remember, you birth into the world that which you pay most attention to and consistently hold within as your truth. Be clear about what you intend. Can you make this commitment? Exactly what we're talking about, the stories that you've created for yourself, your personal narrative, and the assumptions that you make about others, it plays a huge part in this in terms of what you harvest, what, fruit is born from your tree essentially. And, you play such a huge role in the creation of your experience. And I think a lot of us, we were never taught that. We didn't know that. We just, felt like passive participants in life as it happened, And while there are things that are fated, we have free will. And so, yes, we can choose something different, but there may be harder lessons if we don't just trust our intuition and follow what our inner guidance system is telling us. So it's not like you can get it wrong. You're just going to have different experience depending on what you choose to listen to. And some things may be harder than others. And there may be some harder lessons if you choose one way versus the other. It doesn't mean that it's wrong. It's just going to be a different experience. So, why not choose what you focus on and choose to focus on, the things that are going to bring you the most joy, the most happiness, and manifest those things. Doesn't mean that it's all going to be roses and easy, but it's definitely going to be a different experience than focusing on the negative or what may go wrong or, disappointments about the past, because you're likely to just experience more of that. So yeah, that's what I've got for you today. I hope that this was helpful. Please leave me a comment and let me know. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.